Hi, I'm Amy Romeo and welcome to my Seaside Vibes crafting event where I'm sharing a brand new faux leather summer craft for your Cricut every day for 10 days. Today's video is this really pretty pair of dangle seashell earrings. I'll show you how to cut the shells from faux leather and then we're going to decorate with some heat transfer vinyl on top. I have the SVG file for this project in my shop if you want to craft along with me. But before we get started, let's talk about the tools and materials we'll be using. So I'll be using my Cricut Maker today, but you can use any of the current Cricut machines because they all cut faux leather using the standard fine point blade. The faux leather that I'm using are some solid colored sheets. I also have some faux leather on a roll. I'll leave links to all of these supplies for you. And then the heat transfer vinyl that I'm using is some Tech Wrap foil iron-on in a really pretty gold color, but you could use regular heat transfer vinyl if you don't want to use a metallic. I'll be cutting the faux leather using the purple strong grip mat, and I'll cut the heat transfer vinyl from the Cricut green standard grip mat. To press the heat transfer vinyl onto the faux leather, I'll use my Easy Press Mini, and I have a heat pressing pad and also a little cover sheet to protect my surface. I also have a weeding tool. I like a pin pen, but you might use a weeding hook, some curved detailed scissors, some blue painter's tape. This helps us get good cuts with our faux leather. Then I have some jewelry making pliers and some jump rings to put the earrings together. I also have some earring hooks, and then I might use my 1/16 inch hole punch, and this helps us punch the holes in the faux leather to make the perfect little size earring holes. So let's go ahead and hop into Cricut Design Space, and I will show you how to get this project set up and ready to cut, and then we will assemble the seashell earrings. Starting with a blank canvas in Cricut Design Space, you'll click on Upload and then Upload Image, and you'll browse to where the unzipped SVG file for this project is saved on your device. Click on it to select it and then click Open. You'll see a preview of the shapes. Click Continue and then Upload. So I've designed two versions of the earrings for you. One has pre-cut earring holes that will connect these shapes together, and the other does not. And I give you the without holes version in case you want to change the size of the earrings a lot, which would change the size of the earring holes, or if you wanted to use these designs for something else, like a decal or maybe on a t-shirt, cutting it from heat transfer vinyl, then you wouldn't want those pre-cut holes. But generally speaking, when I design earrings, I size them appropriately for earrings with the holes. So I'm going to ungroup these shapes and delete the without holes version since I won't be using those today. So these are three very simple shapes. They each have a back faux leather shape, and then there is a heat transfer vinyl detail shape. So even though they're different colors, they're all going to cut from the same materials. So all three back layers can cut on the same faux leather mat using the same setting, and all three heat transfer vinyl layers can cut on the same heat transfer vinyl mat. So I'm going to show you how to save some time by syncing our colors together. I'm going to click here on Color Sync. And then what I'm going to do is just drag my shapes that I know are going to cut from heat transfer vinyl up onto another heat transfer vinyl mat. You'll see that changes the color here on our canvas, but don't worry about that. You'll still be able to cut the shapes from whatever materials you'd like. I'm going to show you how to put multiple colors on the same mat and have everything cut at the same time. So I'm just putting my faux leather shapes together. They're all the same color, and so are my heat transfer vinyl layers up here. So I'm going to click the Make It button. We're cutting our material on a mat. The first thing we want to do is mirror each of our mats because faux leather and heat transfer vinyl cut in reverse. Then what I want to do is separate my shapes here apart from each other in little groups so that I can put different colors of faux leather down, but everything will cut at the same time on the same mat. So I'm just putting my little shells together here. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my heat transfer vinyl shapes. Now these I'm actually all going to cut from the same gold heat transfer vinyl. So what I'm going to do is just sort of drag them apart from each other a little bit so they're not all smushed together when I'm trying to weed them. And then I'm going to see how much metallic heat transfer vinyl I need to put down on my mat. Looks like if I cut a piece about 5 inches wide and 3 inches tall, I'll be able to cut all of the little heat transfer vinyl shapes comfortably. So I'm going to click back on my faux leather mat and again make a note. looks like a piece of faux leather about 3 inches wide and 2 inches tall is going to be good for all of these little groupings. Let me see this one. This one I might just move them up and down a little and nest them so I get that 3 inch by 2 inch rectangle. And the same thing for over here. So that looks good. I'll click continue. So for the faux leather mat, I'll use this faux leather paper thin setting with more pressure. Now, if you don't have this setting bookmarked as a favorite like I do, you can click on Browse All Materials and search for it. Keep in mind, if you're using the Explore Air 2, you'll need to turn your dial to custom before you'll find this setting when you search. Now for the heat transfer vinyl, you'll use whatever setting is appropriate for the brand and type of heat transfer vinyl that you are using. I'm going to use the foil iron-on setting. Okay, so let's hop back over to my overhead camera. We will get our shapes cut out and our earrings assembled. So I've gone ahead and trimmed my pieces of faux leather in the different colors to that little size I saw in the mat preview screen. And the reason that we cut it smaller is because a smaller piece is going to tape down better and be more secure on our purple strong grit mat, and that's going to help us get better cuts, because as the blade is cutting through, it can shift the faux leather if it's not really well secured. So I'm going to take my last little piece here of faux leather, put it pretty side down on my purple strong grit mat, and then I'm just going to put some blue painter's tape around the edges. This is another way to help us keep that material from moving. And this blue painter's tape is great because it doesn't leave a residue on your faux leather or on your mat, and it can be reused several times. Okay, so I have my faux leather paper thin cut setting with more pressure ready to go. So I'm going to load the mat into the machine and begin the cut. So our mat has cut one time, and I always like to take my sharp weeding tool and lift up the edge of the cuts to see if it looks like they went all the way through. And these look good, so I can go ahead and unload the mat. But if your faux leather cut did not go all the way through, you can press the cut button again to rerun the exact cut, as long as you haven't unloaded your mat. But this one looks good, so I'm going to unload the mat and remove my little shell shapes. Now remember, these have pre-cut holes, so I'm going to use my sharp weeding tool and just poke out those holes. If you have any trouble getting the hole to poke all the way through, you can use a 1/16 inch hole punch. That's from Amazon, and I'll leave a link to that for you. It's very handy to have when you're making faux leather earrings. Now I'm going to return to Design Space and cut out my metallic heat transfer vinyl mat. Then I'll weed away the excess, and then I'll show you how to put the earrings together. So I have my heat transfer vinyl shapes all cut out, weeded, and then cut apart from each other. And then I have my little seashell shapes all ready to go as well with their holes cut out. Now if you have any fuzzies on the edge of your faux leather shapes, you can trim up the edges with those curved scissors. Now I don't have anything on the back of this faux leather, but you can put heat transfer vinyl on the back for a really professional and finished look, and I'll leave a link to a video I have all about how to do that. Now I have my Easy Press Mini set on the low setting. It's that first green line. If you're using a regular Easy Press, I would set it to about 265 degrees. So I have my heat pressing pad ready to go. And then this is a large Teflon sheet, like the kind for pressing t-shirts. I've just trimmed it smaller because I make a lot of small items. You could use a Teflon sheet or butcher paper or parchment paper for this project. So let's start by pressing the top shell here. All I'm going to do is take my little heat transfer vinyl layer and line it up so that those holes match and everything on the edges matches as well. So you can see how this fits on, it lines up on the edges. That looks good. So I'm just going to cover with my little cover sheet and press. So I recommend pressing for about 7 to 10 seconds. And with foil iron-on, I find that if you let it cool for just a little bit, it's going to peel off easier. So I'm going to go ahead and press the other one while I let that one cool. So this one's warm. So what I want to do is very slowly peel away the clear carrier sheet. Let's see. And if it doesn't peel away easily, then it just needs to be pressed a little longer. And that actually looks like it does need to be pressed a little longer. And the reason I know is because the vinyl lifted up a little when I started peeling the cover sheet. So that's how we know that we want to press a little longer. So let's let that one cool. Go back to this one. I'm applying firm pressure. I am moving my Easy Press Mini, but if you have a regular Easy Press, you can just set it down. You don't need to move it. And maybe we'll move on and do one more while those cool. So you might want to look at your art and design space to make sure you're applying your little decorations where they go on each layer. And just kind of get it in place, cover and press. And then I'll hop back to this one quickly. And there we go. That's much better. See how I'm peeling? I'm peeling and the faux leather and the heat transfer vinyl are separate. There we go. So let's do with this one. So I've been letting these cool a little bit after I press them. Then you just want to very slowly peel back. And you might need to replace that cover sheet a few times and keep pressing until you're able to peel cleanly without the vinyl lifting up. But that one looks pretty good. So I'm going to let it cool more flat underneath my pressing pad. Then I'm going to try and peel these other ones. There we go. So this looks really pretty with the gold, the metallic. But you could also use white heat transfer vinyl. You could use a heat transfer vinyl that's the same color, but just a darker shade than your faux leather. There's lots of different ways you can go with this. So I'll let these cool. Then we'll just do these little starfish. So now that I've pressed my heat transfer vinyl onto all of the seashell shapes and the seashells have cooled nice and flat, all we need to do is attach the seashells to each other using jump rings and then attach our earring hooks. So I'm just using regular shepherd earring hooks, and these have a loop at the bottom. I've already turned my loop sideways so that my earrings will hang straight. The loop is going to be parallel to the hook when you take it out of the package. See the loop? What we want to do is turn that loop 90 degrees so that our earring will hang straight when we attach the little shapes. So all I'm doing is gripping the bottom hook with my jewelry making pliers, and I'm twisting that loop forward. Now I have a whole video about this process that I'll link to for you if you want to watch that in more detail. But I've got my earring hooks with my loops facing forward, and then I have two different shapes of jump rings, and we might need to use the larger ones here. If you decide to make your earrings a little smaller, you might be able to use the smaller 6mm jump rings. I'm actually going to use the 6mm jump rings for the very top, and then these are 8mm, so they're a little larger. So all we need to do is open up our jump rings with our flat nose pliers. So I just twisted that open. Then I'm going to start at the bottom, connecting my little shapes. So the size of your jump ring will determine how much movement and play you have in your earrings. So if you want them to be tighter and not as much movement, you can use smaller jump rings. If you want a lot of movement, you can use these larger ones. So I'm just connecting all my shapes. And then the last one is connecting the earring hook to the top shape. Make sure your earring hook is facing the right direction. And there you go. Now, if you didn't want to wear all three of these earrings, obviously you could only use one or the other, or use two. It's totally up to you, but I wanted to give you three really pretty, simple, beachy shapes that you could use to make earrings. So now I'm just going to finish on the other side. And there you go, our finished earring. So here's another look at the finished earrings. I think they came out really pretty. Remember, you can use the without holes version of this design for other projects. I would love to see how you turn this design into other creative crafts with your Cricut. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.